Hello everyone, I'm Loganathan. I am from QA Automation channel. Welcome back to the next video in my Python for Testers series. So Python for Testers or Python for QA Automation engineers. Right, in the last video, we have seen what are the basic requirements we need to have to learn Python. So we covered how can we install Python, how can we verify if Python is properly installed or not, and also we covered how we can get the PyCharm in our system, and after which how can we get started with creating the first Python program, and then we learned few things about the variables. Next, what we are going to learn is we are going to learn data types. Okay, let me create a new folder or new package under my project, Python project, new. Let me go and create the Python package and I name it as data types. Okay, under the data types, let me create my first Python file. So let me name it as test01, and I don't need to give .py, it will automatically, PyCharm will add the .py automatically for me. So I'll create a variable now, a is equal to 10, and as I mentioned in my last video, this is the variable a. It's a container in which we are storing a value 10. And can I store, and what type of value it is? It is a number, right? So obviously the next question will be, can I store any type of value in this container? The answer is yes. So in Python, there is no such restriction like, so a variable can take only number, variable can take only string, the variable can take only say Boolean. So there is no such restriction. You can store any type of value in this container called variable a. And how do we know what is the type of this container? For that we have a function called type. So let me use another variable called b, and then I'll say type of a. And next I'll print this variable b. And you can see what is going to happen when I run this. Sorry, I'm running variables. Let me change it to current file, and then I'll run this. Okay, so now you see that it is printing class as int. So for now, just ignore this word class. I'll come to it when I'm talking about the oops concept in Python. For now, we are learning only data types, so only focus on this data type that is getting printed. It is integer. Just because I kept an integer, the number in my variable, it is printing int. So let's say what I do is, just for clarity, I print both a comma b. So it prints 10 and then it says it is an integer. So next what I do, when it comes to numbers, the next obvious thing is I can put a whole number that is 10, or I can have some decimal numbers into it, right? So say 10.123. Let's see what it is going to do. So guys, as I explained in the last video, I am overwriting the value of a here. So the new value of a will be 10.123, and here I am overwriting the value of b, the type of a. So when it is a, it is going to take the new value 10.123, and its type will get saved in b, and then it is going to print a and b, which is from row number 5 and 6. So let me execute this. As you clearly see, first time it was printing 10 and it was saying integer, and the next time it is printing the 10.123 that I've entered, and it is giving me as float. So in numbers or numerics in Python, we have two types of data. One is integer, another one is float. We have another one, but mostly or not in test automation, at least we don't use it. So let me show that so that you can understand. Say I'll put it as 2j, and then let's see what it is going to print. So it says complex. So we can put any number here and then followed by a character j. So it has to be character j, you cannot use anything else. This has to be the character j when you use it, and when you try to find the type of that number, it will say complex number, and in test automation we will never use this. This is generally used in advanced Python programs like machine learning and other stuff. So right now I'm not going to focus on it. It's not needed for us. So just for your understanding, remember that in Python, when it comes to numbers, we have three types of data. One is integer, next is float, and then next is complex. All right, I'll close this and I'll move on and I'll create the second file. New Python file. I'll name it as test02 dot, I don't need to give, test02 py. And now let's discuss about strings. What is a string? Let me say a is equal to Loganathan, group of characters, right? So that is called string. And let me try to find the type of this string or type of this variable a, and then I'll print it, print a comma b. Let's see how Python is identifying the type of this variable a. Now you see that it is string, right? str, Loganathan is the value, and then the type is giving a string. And how can we create a string? Either we can use single quotes or we can use double quotes. As you see here, I'm using double quotes to define a string, and even here the string that I defined here within double quotes is type of str, that is nothing but string. And then in Python there is one more option to give the string, which is nothing but triple quotes. Triple quotes is 3 single quotes that we need to use. Okay, so now you are seeing this is also accepted. The 3 single quotes is also accepted and it is stored in the variable a. Let me run this. Even the third one, it is string. Okay, so these are the 3 ways in which you can initiate a string. And again, I'll give you a small tricky one. What will happen if I say 1000 within a single quote or double quote, and then I print the type of it? Any guess? Will it be considered as integer or will it be considered as string? Yes, it will be considered as string. The reason is anything that gets into single quotes or double quotes or triple quotes will be considered as string. So let me play this. As you see, though it prints it as 1000, the class it is classified as string, right? So it is also classified as string. So just remember, not only numbers, you can have special characters, you can have spaces, anything for that matter, right? So it can have, say, hash, @ and then I can have Loganathan, and I'm having spaces, and then I'm having dashes. I save this and I run this. So all these which are given inside the single quotes is classified into string data type. Okay, so we are good with string data type. Next we'll move to Boolean. So go to data types and I'll create a new file. I'll name it as test03. So Booleans are nothing but when we are going to write some scripts and where we have to take some decisions, right? So for example, if your age is greater than 18, then you are allowed to vote. So whenever your age is greater than 18, the condition is met, then something is going to come as an output. So that is called Boolean value. So if it is greater than 18, then it will be true. If it is less than 18, then it will be false. So you can think like yes or no or true or false, based on which you are going to make some decisions. So that's where you will be using these Booleans. So just note that I'm using the capital letter A, right? So B is equal to type of A, and then I'm printing A comma B. Let me run this. Cool. So the value is true and then the data type is Boolean. So it has only 2 values. One is true, another one is false. Anything apart from true and false will not be considered as Boolean. See, false is also considered as Boolean, and if I write it in any other case, it's gonna fail, guys. Okay, just for your understanding, I'm showing this. Okay, it is failing. So let me put it back to capital T and then capital F, the uppercase character T and uppercase character F, and I'll run this. Cool. So we covered Boolean. Let's now move to collections. Right click, new, Python file, test 04. So I'll start with from the word collections, you understand, right? It is not just one value. I'm going to store multiple values. So how can I do it? So I can do it using a square bracket. So I can use a square bracket, and inside which I can mention a collection of values. So I have given 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I can say b is equal to type of A, and then print A comma B. Let me play this. You see that here in Python, this is called as list. So in other languages, you might have heard the term array, but here it is called as list. So list is nothing but collection of different values. And here you can see that I have used all numbers. So this is homogeneous list. I can create a heterogeneous list also. So what I mean by heterogeneous, I can have different types of data in a collection variable. So I'll first give 1, and then next I'll give my name, and then I'll give true, and then I'll use a float. Okay, and then maybe a special character. It is also a string, but still I just wanted to give it and see how it works. So this list, okay, the list that I'm creating in the row 5, it has different data types, right? It has elements of different data types, but even then it is able to fold all the data. So as you see, this is also list, and it is printing all that it holds. So I can pick the values from here by using index. So in the index will start from 0. So I can try to print a of 0, and then I can see what is the type of a of 0. Right? I have used, first I printed a of 0, and then I'm seeing type of a of 0. This is number, and integer should print. Yeah, class int is getting printed 1, and then class int is printed. If I use 1 here, so here also I should print 1, type of af1. If I use this, so as you see, af1 is Loganathan, and then it's a string. Okay, so you can store different types of data into a list, and using index you can retrieve. And I'll stop it here. We will discuss about the collections and how can we create a collection, how can we add, how can we modify, how can we delete. All those things we'll see it in a separate video. But right now, let us understand there is a data type called list. And Python gives a beautiful option where we can create a non-modifiable list. That is, I cannot change it once I create it. So that is called tuple in Python. So for creating tuple in Python, same thing that I need to do. Let me copy paste. Only difference is the brackets. Here I am using the square bracket. To create a tuple, I just need to use the regular parenthesis. Okay, so let me run this. As you see, this is printed as tuple. And tuple can also hold different types of data. It need not to be a homogeneous one. So only change will be changing the brackets. Okay, let me run this. As you see, here you see a homogeneous one, and here you see a heterogeneous tuple. All right, so this is about list and tuple, and next we'll see the set. Okay, and one more thing that I can cover here itself. Here you see 1 2 3 4 5. Let me add again 1 comma 2. Okay, so what I'm trying to do, I'm adding some duplicates in the list, and let's see what is happening. When I execute this, you see that 1 2 3 4 5 and then 1 and 2. So the duplicates are allowed in the list, and if you don't want duplicate, what do we need to do? That is what we are going to see next. So let me create the next test file. Test 5. So here I'm going to create a variable a, and then I'll use 1 2 3 4 5 comma 1 2. I'll say b is equal to type of a, print a comma b. Let me run this and then I'll explain. So as you see, though it has the duplicate characters when I'm initiating it, when it prints, it doesn't have the duplicates. I gave it as 4.5, change it to 4. Okay, cool. So when I use this curly braces, it becomes set. So that is what you are seeing here. The classification of this data type is set. This variable is set. And again, should that have only homogeneous values? No, you can have heterogeneous too. So for ease, I'll use this logan, comma true. Maybe if I try to put one more true, it shouldn't allow me. So allow me in the sense it allows me to put the duplicate value, but it doesn't store it in the memory. So as you see here, okay, this is slightly strange for me, maybe because of the space. Now for some reason my set is not taking booleans as a value into it. As you see here, set allows only the numbers and string. It is not taking boolean value in the variable. Maybe I need to check this and then I'll get back to you, but as of now you understand that set doesn't allow duplicates. Let me add another logan. Correct. So it took logan only once and the number 1. Okay, this is about set, and just like list and tuple, we have a concept here where this set that I'm creating can be edited in the future. Edited in the sense it can be modified. I can remove this, I can add new name, or I can delete the existing string in it. So all those things I can do, or I can append, I can add more values into the list. All those things I can do with the set. But if I don't want that to happen, I want that set to be very protected, okay, and it cannot be modified, then I have to define it as frozen set. Okay, frozen set, and then I can open the brackets, use the square bracket, and then use 1 2 3, and then use this and see what is happening. as you see here, this is called as frozen set. So frozen set in the sense we cannot modify it in the future, but when I'm defining it, I can modify. Okay, so here I'm modifying it at the beginning. Let me enter the duplicates and I'll show you. Again, you see that it is 1, 2, 3 only. It cannot take the duplicates, but the A is frozen. I cannot use A and then do the other set operations to modify it. Okay, if I have A here, when I put dot, it shows me a few options, right? Add, copy, pop, clear, all those things I can do, right? Because prior to this line, it is not a frozen set, it is a regular set. I can do modifications, but after this line of code, this becomes frozen and I will not be allowed to do operations. So that's why it's not giving me the add option or pop option. So such options are not available for me. Okay, so we covered set and then frozen set. And we have one more collection called dictionary. I'll go to it. So I'll close this and I create a new file. Name it as test06. And here I'm going to create a dictionary. So dictionary is nothing but using the key value pair. Okay, again A. For this also we are going to use the curly braces, and then I need to say name, colon, nothing, and then comma, age, colon, say 40, and then city, Bangalore. All right, I've created it, and as you see, this key value pair need not to be always string combination, right? It can be string or string and then number combination. Also number comma string combination. I'm just simply showing it for example. Let's give the number as 1 and then I'll put a colon, and here I'll say 1. Okay, let's see how this gets printed. So B is equal to type of A and then print A comma B. You see that this entire stuff is printed and it is called as dictionary, and even this key value pair is allowed. One is the number on the left, this is the key, one is the key, and the value is the string. So as I mentioned, it can be string combination, key as a string, value as a string, key as a string and then value as a number, and then here key as a number and then value as a string. So any combination of key and pair is allowed. So this is about dictionary. And there are few more types which I really don't want to cover because we will never use it. Maybe I'll just say it here with a comment. We have byte and then byte array and then memory view. So these are three different data types that are available in Python, but we will never use in our test automation or in our regular usage. So that's why I'm avoiding it. I don't want to get into it. Okay. All right. That is about data sets. Yeah, one more thing or two more things I can include on top of this. So let me create a new Python file and name it as, I think, test7. Correct. So next is the range. So this you will understand when I come to loops. Okay, let me give it as a range of 10. B is equal to type of A, and then I can say print A comma B. Save this, play this. As you see, this is another data type which is called 10, and it says range. It starts from 0 and then it goes till 10. Don't worry about it much now because you will not get it if I explain it also. So when we go to the looping statements and loops concepts, we will explain it in detail and there you will understand. But for now, keep in mind that there is a data type called range. All right. So next is important stuff. In other languages, you might have heard if nothing is stored in a variable, it can be considered as a null value, right? But here in Python, it is called as none type, N-O-N-E type. Example, say I have a data here, which is 10, and at the end of my script execution, I want to clean it up or clear it up. So what I can do is I can assign none to it. Once I assign none to it, why is it, let's see, b is equal to a, and then print a comma b. Let me save this and run it. Yes, perfect. Okay, so what I'm doing here on the line number 6, I'm cleaning it up. I'm cleaning the variable a and storing none. None means nothing. Nothing is there in a. And then what is the type of a? Notice that it is not none, it is none type. And then that's why I'm printing it to verify, and it is coming as none, and then the value is none, but the type is none type. Okay, all right. So let us quickly summarize what are the different data types we have. One, we have integer, we have float, and then we have complex when it comes to numbers. Next is string. Very important thing about string is we can use single quotes to create a string and put group of characters in it, or we can use double quotes, or we can use triple quotes. And also anything that is defined within single quotes or double quotes or triple quotes will be considered a string, even if it's a number. And also we can use special characters, spaces, and any characters when it comes to string. So that is what we have covered in strings. And then we learned about the Boolean data types, true or false, and it has to have the capital T and capital F at the beginning, only then it will be considered as Boolean. Next, what we have seen the list. So list, either it can be a homogeneous or it can be a heterogeneous list. And list allows duplicate, and if you want to make the list to be non-editable later point in time, then we have to go for tuple. So difference between list and tuple is list will have square brackets as boundaries, and then tuple will have the regular parentheses as boundaries. And even once tuple is defined, it cannot be edited, and tuple can also be homogeneous and heterogeneous. Coming to set is used when we don't want to allow duplicates, and set should be defined with curly braces as boundaries, and very importantly, it cannot allow duplicates, even the number or string. And similar to tuple for list, we have something called frozen set for set, where it will not be allowed to modify in the later point in time when you are doing some programming. Coming to the next collection data type is dictionary. So dictionary means key value pair, and again we'll have to use this curly braces for dictionaries too. So that is the reason generally people will get confused with dictionary and the set, because both uses this curly braces. But only thing that you need to notice is here it is all key value pair, and the key value pair is separated by the delimiter by the colon symbol, right? So very important. This can be string pair or string number pair or number string pair, anything, that any different combinations you can use. And finally, we learned about range data type, and then none type data type. All right, so these are the data types available in Python, which we will use in our upcoming automation scripts and programs. So please practice them and try to understand the concepts, and try to see what are the different values that you can store in every variable, so that it will be very useful when I am explaining the next scripts and programs. Thank you so much for watching this video. Until we connect in the next one, bye from me.